Welcome to the Word for Life podcast, a daily devotional covering the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
In Leviticus chapter 17, God gives instructions about blood. According to verse 3, Israelites should not shed blood of an animal in the camp or outside the camp instead of bringing it to the tabernacle of the Lord. Such an Israelite will be considered guilty of bloodshed. What this means is Israel must offer sacrifices only to the Lord, not to any other idol. So, through such a prohibition, the Lord prohibits idol worship in Israel. Verse 7 makes it clear Israel must no longer offer any of their sacrifices to the goat idols. Then in verses 10 to 12, the Lord prohibits eating blood. Back then, people had the practice of eating or cooking blood. The reason for this prohibition was, according to verse 11, twofold. 1. For the life of a creature is in the blood. See, in God's eyes, life is sacred. Even to Noah, God made this clear. Israel must consider life of not only humans, but also creatures as sacred. Since life is in the blood, Israel must not eat blood. Friends, today tragically, life of humans and creatures are considered dispensable. Human life is calculated as worthy or unworthy based on how useful they are to society. We value the life of a celebrity more than the life of a roadside shopkeeper. But in God's eyes, everyone is valuable. So God's prohibition to Israel about not eating blood forces them to value human life. Secondly, in verse 11, blood is valuable because God has given it to Israel to make atonement for themselves on the altar. It is the blood that makes atonement for their life. Therefore, Israelites must not eat blood. Israel must appreciate God's grace in providing a way for the forgiveness of sins. Because God in His mercy has provided an alternate way to solve the problem of sin. Instead of the life of a sinner, God accepts the life of an animal as a substitute. Therefore, Israelites must appreciate this grace of God by not eating blood. Israelites must drain the blood from the animal before taking it to cook the meat. If the animal is already dead and they eat that meat, they must remain unclean till evening, and then they must wash their clothes and purify themselves. Friends, for a person who does not see life from God's perspective, for a person who does not accept God's principles for life, these restrictions may sound very illogical or even funny. But for those who have accepted the Lord as their God, these are vital issues of life itself. Life cannot be lived as one wants. Life here on earth can be lived in a meaningful and orderly way. There is only one God, and worshipping or sacrificing to idols which are no gods is utterly foolish. Then all life is sacred. Otherwise, we are left to debate which humans are worth or worthless. For example, are older people worthy to live or younger people worthy to live? Finally, if blood is not valued as the substitute for our sins, then we may ask, what will take our sins away? What shall we give to God for the forgiveness of our sins?
Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Word for Life podcast.